Good morning. October the 13th, I believe, at 6:15 in the morning. Not too bad of a morning. It's 64 degrees outside. That's not too bad, I guess, for October. This early in the morning. It's been kind of an overcast day. It was rainy yesterday for a little while. A little bit of a front coming in. I'm not even sure of the weather. I don't even keep up. I've got this TV that I needed to get going. And I'm not sure. I'm just completely lost when it comes to electronics. I don't know how all that stuff works. But you can see in this camera, it's cloudy. It's overcast. And I don't mind these days. These days bring back a lot of memories from when I was a child. Being outside and playing. And, this type of weather, it was easier. It was better to go out and play versus being really hot outside or being freezing cold. This time of year is always good for when you were a kid. It's more comfortable weather. Of course, it didn't really matter to me when I was a child. If I wanted to go outside, I went outside. It didn't matter if it was raining or snowing or 110 degrees. Not exactly sure what I'm going to talk about. I just normally just hit record and start speaking, and whatever comes to mind, or whatever I think about, which I try not to do too much thinking. It's like when I'm at work and I'm working and I'm doing the same thing every day, which, by the way, I really need to get away from the job that I'm in. It's not where I'm supposed to be, and honestly and truly, it doesn't really pay that good. I've been in this business that I'm in for about 30 years. It's what I know. It's what the physical part of me knows, the program part of me knows, but it's not really who I am or what I am or what I'm supposed to be doing. When I started going through this spiritual journey, and most of my videos, I speak on my spiritual journey, and a lot of people don't, they're not bought into the spiritual thing or the godly thing, even though they may say they believe in God. They don't normally believe. It's like I might talk to a certain individual who was brought up in a religion, and I'll say some things, and this person doesn't really want to hear it. And I don't know if it's because it's coming from me, even though what I'm saying is real and it's right and it makes sense. If it makes sense, it makes sense. You know, if somebody's talking to you and they're telling you about something and it's true, you know, but they don't want to hear it. And I don't know if it's because it's coming from them, that particular person, and why would that person know this stuff versus listening to it and taking it in and abiding by that, especially if it's good, it's loving, it's positive. That's what I don't understand. There was an incident that when I started to connect to God and Jesus during meditation, and I've made a video on this before, but during meditation, I was in really deep meditation. I got really deep into my subconscious mind, and I speak on subconscious mind a lot, and I don't know if people understand what the subconscious mind is. Of course, all you have to do is look it up. It is not a mind that we're typically in, because it's our godly mind, it's our miracle mind, it's our, it's our faith, That's where stuff happens. We are born in our subconscious mind. They always say that babies are looking at angels, and that's true. They see that stuff. I got a spider in my car. I don't know if you can see it. There's a spider. But anyway, it's true. I mean, you see babies sometimes, they'll look out at something, or they're looking at something. Animals are in their subconscious mind. They don't operate, obviously, from the programmed mind. And that is true. The programmed mind is a fact. We are computers. As much as people don't want to think about it, don't want to, accept it or whatever, but it's true. Once you're born and you get into school or you go to a church, that man or that teacher or that preacher or whatever is speaking to you, is speaking words to you about what they feel is right. Those words that are entering into your mind and you're listening to that is leaving an impression on your brain. And that is true. That is a fact. Especially if you're young. Young children are very, very impressionable. They're like sponges. Think about that. So you go into school. They're teaching you out of their books. They're leaving an impression on your brain. Now, they give you their books. And who writes these books? Who is it? I don't know. They write these books in some kind of classroom or laboratory or whatever. And they're like, you know what? Let's put these words down in this book because this is what I feel like people should be learning. But is that right? It's like laws. Laws are only in place to make people feel safe. That's the only reason why we have laws. Everybody breaks laws every day. I mean, not everybody, but people break laws every day. We see it all the time. Laws are just there to make people feel safe. It's like certain words that the government comes up with. So it's an impression left on your brain. You watch TV. I keep saying this, and it's true. It's a fact. You watch TV. You listen to music. You listen to that every single day. It's like they say to play certain things at nighttime while you're laying down and while you're sleeping, and that subliminal messages goes into your brain, and let it be positive and loving. Let's say you're doing good, you're a wonderful person, you're a beautiful person. That is being put into your brain slowly but surely, and then eventually your confidence is boosted. It's like if you have a person that you're with, a mate, a spouse, a girlfriend, or whatever. Every day they tell you how gorgeous you are and how beautiful you are. And it don't even necessarily have to be a spouse. It could be a friend. It could be somebody who cares. And they tell you this every day, and eventually you believe it because it's being programmed into your brain. And this is a fact. We are a program. We're like robots. We're like computers. I don't really need to say this. I mean, it's really a fact. But I've been reading the Bible for a long time, and I have been impressionated, or if that's a word, by the Bible, by Jesus, by God, by His words. I read it every day. I'm fascinated by the man Jesus. God is my Father. I worship God. If I worship God, then God is my supreme being, my influencer. That's who I strive to be like. It's just like when you have a child, let's say a father has a son, that son wants to go follow after his father. It makes perfect sense. So why not? Why wouldn't I be impressioned by God, since I listen to His words every day? I just wish people would understand that that's the way it is. It's not bad. It's not evil. that's just the way it is. I make these videos. I never really have much time. I don't realize how far I've gotten into it. And I start speaking. I'm probably going to continue this video in another time. I really honestly feel that this stuff needs to be said. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm at work. I'm just backing into a parking spot here. I love you guys. And please try to have an open mind to certain things. If you're listening to something every day or you're reading something every day, you're going to be impressionated by that. And there's a cat. Kitty, kitty. And it only makes sense. It's like when you start a job and you're fresh into that job, and they start teaching you that job. They start training you for that job. And while they're training you, the training is programming you to fit that position of that job, to make you a good employee, to make you an expert at that position. It's the same thing with everything else. If you're connected to something, that connection is going to mold you into that position, into that situation. I'm going to continue this video because I feel like I said, there are things that need to be said. There's certain people that are watching these videos and they're getting the wrong impression. And I don't want them to get the wrong impression. I don't want them, not that I care about what people think of me, but I am affiliated with certain people. And I don't want them to get a bad name or a bad impression from me. I love you guys, and Godspeed.